I'm a little nervous now because I'm about to introduce Tomáš Lederer, a water technologist from the Institute for Advanced Nanotechnology. I messed that up just now. You have an incredibly long name, CXE tool. So Tomáš Lederer, who will... Come on, you can say it correctly yourself. But no, what I wanted to say at the beginning is that Tomáš wrote us an incredibly interesting concept that keeps resonating in my mind, and that's water well-being. Tomáš's job is to research ways to purify water so that we can continue to have clean water in the future. And this concept of water well-being really caught my attention because not everyone in the world has access to clean water, and Liberec is a top city in that we have technologies here to purify it, even using things like nano. So I'll hand it over to you now, it's all yours.
Thank you for the floor, thank you for the invitation, and I'll ask you to go ahead and start right away. So this goat here is called the Golden Takin. We chose it together with my colleague Eva Dulejelova, whom I thank for preparing the presentation, because there's water, there are animals, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So in general, it's about water management, and specifically about the case of the zoo here in Liberec. As for me, I chose this because I look good in it and it's colorful. Otherwise, it's about the fact that this is one of the things we see at the Institute. These are biomass carriers on which microorganisms grow and then help us clean the water. I've been in this field for more than 25 years. I'll move on to the important points. This picture is meant to symbolize what sometimes happens, and that's drought. Here I have to say that even the Liberec region is already dealing with this. They have a Water and Drought Commission, and the point is that the current changes in the climate mean that the water situation is not exactly optimal. In this image from the Czech Hydrometeorological Institute, you can see the declines in groundwater levels here in Bohemia. I have to say that in some places it's even permanent, and the water shortage is simply there. Even though we live in what you might call water abundance, or at least that's what we think, but it's only temporary and it might not last forever. The issue of water is especially relevant in the context that in most cities, for the majority of them, all wastewater during rainfall events gets combined and flows toward us to the treatment plant. What's worse is that along the way, some of it is diverted, and this untreated water then goes directly into streams and rivers. And one possible way is to retain that water. This is an example of some of the measures being implemented: various retention basins, swales, marshes, and wetlands. Our country is like a rooftop. Everything flows in and everything flows out, and we have no incoming supply. And here is the symbol of the white tiger. Now I'm moving on to what's happening at the Liberec Zoo. The Liberec Zoo, like some other city zoos, faces huge problems with water, with having enough water, especially in the summer months when they lose those sources. And this is already a demonstration of the project called Lifezoo, because it's from the European Life Program, and it's focused on how to manage water, how to save it, and how to return it back. In our team, we also have the Barcelona Zoo and 2 universities, one in Barcelona and one in Girona. These are things that when you visit the zoo are displayed. It's a demonstration of what the water management system is like. Today the system is already up and running, and now we'll wait to see what comes of it. So far it's in about 3 enclosures, namely the elephants, both the indoor and outdoor pools. For the tapir, and maybe in the future for the caiman, the construction wasn't easy. Sometimes we think something will be good. We even put in a fountain there. The result was that the elephant couldn't sleep because of it, and the tapir was stressed out all day, so we had to come up with a different way to return the recirculated water. Here you can see roughly what forms the circle. At the top left is the wetland where the water gets purified. Then it goes to the water treatment plant so that drinking water is produced. It also flows back into the pond. This is the core of the wetland system. A wetland is basically a dugout hole filled with stones, with plants growing on top. Microorganisms grow in the roots of these plants and on the stones, and they are the ones that clean the water. After that, the water is further purified because we basically need to produce drinking water even for the animals we keep to prevent the spread of infections. So those are the final stages. This photo looks nice again. You can't really tell what's in it, but these are ultrafiltration membranes that remove all bacteria and viruses from the water, and that way we achieve the final quality we're aiming for. As part of this project, some modifications are also being made to the pond, the so-called Swan Pond, which is silted up and needs reconstruction. So far, that hasn't happened yet. Of course, they're waiting for what else? Money. But during the course of the project, certain measures are being implemented there so that the condition will eventually at least be aerated. There are floating islands there which help reduce the load on the water, so the water won't be as green as it usually gets during the summer. And all of this requires energy, so solar panels were installed on the entrance building, which actually cover the electricity consumption. Here it works out exceptionally well because the highest water demand is in the summer, and the solar panels also have the highest output in the summer. I think this transferability applies to other visitor areas as well. This is the case of an unnamed farm in northern Bohemia, where they have also built a wetland and are considering how to recirculate the water and return it back. Here I come to rainwater, which is also managed in the Liberec zone. This is the simplest way, and it's kind of the first step towards you, towards everyone. For all of us, how to handle this water, this is the minimum we can do. A way to help ourselves by having some cheap water, water that can continue to be used. And most importantly, we won't put as much strain on the sewage system from which untreated water then leaves. Treated. At treatment plants like this one, we can make improvements. The technology exists for it. My colleague likes to say that every problem has its technical solution, but of course it's always about the money. But then if we don't start ourselves, and that's the second point of my urging. And there, it really takes very little. Don't use so many chemicals. Of course, don't flush medications and things like that. Don't pour oil down the drain, because that causes huge operational problems later on, both in the sewage system and at the treatment plants. And finally, as I mentioned, each of us can do a little something, add a piece, a drop to a drop. It will take a long time. We won't be the ones to benefit from it, but it's important to realize that it's more for the generations to come, and it can help them by making their lives easier, and above all, by ensuring that water prosperity continues into the future. Thank you for your attention.
So once again, the Institute for Nanomaterials, Advanced Technologies and Innovation. Now I said it correctly. Tomáš Lederer,